Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the University of Nicosia. I'm so glad to welcome you here. This is the first event with Binance, the first meetup we have here at the university. And we're so excited to host the event and collaborate with Binance. As you know, the University of Nicosia has a long history in the area of blockchain technology. We broke ground in 2013 by investing time and effort and resources in developing the first program in the area of blockchain. We also do research on that area, and we continuously widespread the adoption of blockchain technology. Our first program, published in 2014, we have already enrolled around 1,400 students so far, and around 800 of them have already graduated. Because we wanted to widespread the adoption of blockchain, we decided to offer the first course as a massive open online course, an open and free course on blockchain technology. And so far, around 100,000 students have participated on this program, on this course. In addition to this, we continuously improve the quality of our programs, the courses and the education. And last year, we launched a revised version of our new edition of our program with enhanced courses and better topics, more suitable and more advanced in regards to the changes that we have in this area. One of the topics that we also introduced was a new MOOC on DeFi, decentralized finance, and so far we have around 10,000 students. In addition to this, in fall 2021, we launched a new initiative on Open Metaverse, and one of the main goals of that initiative is to establish an MSc program in Metaverse. We have already prepared the material, we have prepared the application submitted for accreditation, and we are hoping that next year in September 23, we will be able to launch the program. Already we offered the first program, the first course of this program as a free online course. This is really an innovative course. It's on-chain in the metaverse, delivered by well-known influencers in the area and in collaboration with the University of Nicosia. And so far we have 25,000 participants on that project, which started just 2 months ago. We hope the future will increase the numbers of this course, as well as people who join the program. Apart from the education, in order to widespread the adoption of blockchain technology, we also need sourcing. And sourcing, of course, requires talents that will be able to design new products, implement them, run them, and be in a position to maintain them. And in these regards, we are happy to collaborate and excited to collaborate with Binance, because we are joining our forces and help towards that direction. To this end, I would like to invite on the stage Mr. Andreas Vlachos, who is the country manager for Binance in Greece and Cyprus, to talk about all these interesting things that they are preparing for us. Thank you very much, and welcome to the University of Nicosia.
Thank you, Marino. It's a great pleasure for us to be here. Thank you all for coming. I'm not going to hide behind my finger. I know you all expect the CZ to be here, but unfortunately, we didn't manage to be on time with that. But we think that maybe sooner than you guys expect, we may have him here live. So first, I would like to emphasize that in this challenging times of the market, we, as a company, we emphasize on academic excellence, on training, on education, and of course in the safety of our users. So that is the reason that we are here today. That is the reason that we have entered into a partnership with the University of Nicosia to offer 5 full scholarships of the Masters in Digital Currency. And That's why we also have some great colleagues here to talk about what Binance Academy is doing, what is our vision as a company, and so on. From my behalf as a country manager, I would like to emphasize to the community that right now, the community can feel that they have a local presence, they have a voice, that they can communicate directly with the company, directly in our channels, in our Telegram channel, for example. We have a Telegram channel of almost 6,000 users called Binance Greek. You are all welcome to join. And we are working pretty much dedicating all the time to offer the best possible services and the best possible training to the Greek and Cypriot users, to our existing Greek and Cypriot user base. So we are organizing webinars, we are translating content in Greek language, we are doing all those kinds of stuff that the Greek community and the Cypriot community was expecting from us to do. So I don't want to keep a lot of your time. There are plenty of great topics to discuss today. Before a while, we had a workshop with Binance Academy, an introductory workshop for students. And I want to invite on stage my colleague, Steven, who's going to talk about Binance Academy and how we collaborate with several universities in the world to expand knowledge. Thank you.
Thanks, Andreas, and thank you, everyone, for coming this evening. As Andreas said, we were here a little bit earlier with the students in the audience, and I know a few of you have come back, and we are going to be doing a bit of a crypto quiz later. Those students who are here, please do not repeat the quiz, because you're going to know all the answers. For those who are new to the audience, glad to hear it. So I guess just to give you a quick run-through of what we do as part of Academy specifically. I might ask the guys if they could, when they have a moment. So just to kind of give some context, I'm sure many of you are familiar with Binance already and what we do as a company, but I guess what even surprised me when I started with Binance is how much else that comes with the ecosystem that would surprise you. So as Andreas mentioned, I'm responsible for our EU and UK university outreach program. And that is part of Academy. And Academy is just a very small part of the larger ecosystem here at Binance. We also have our charity arm, which is, of course, the core business, which, as you can see on screen, has various numbers of factors to it. We have the decentralization part of Binance, Launchpad, Labs, et cetera, et cetera. So just to give you some context that there's a lot more going on than probably meets the eye. To kind of give you some context to the university tour that we're doing and why I guess I personally am in Cyprus. I've spent the last, I think it's nearly 4.5 weeks, 5 weeks now, going across Europe with my suitcase and meeting students in some of the top universities globally. So the tour started, I'd say, about 4 weeks ago with Harvard, MIT, Boston University, and a number of other schools in the US, and then transitioned into Europe, where, as I said, I'm responsible for running the program there. So yeah, we've been to some of the best schools, and I think that the focus is more to kind of engage with the student community, because the tech that comes with like blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies, that's really what's gonna change our lives on a daily basis. At least that's what I strongly believe, and I'm sure all of you being here tonight says the same. And in order to do that, it's working with schools and educational programs is where you're gonna find the best and the brightest in terms of what's going to come with the next frontier. So that's a big part of the university outreach program, and of course working with the University of Nicosia as well is a big focus too. So yeah, 75 schools, 25 countries. Just to give you a quick snapshot of some of the other universities we visited. This is my colleague Farah in Lebanon. We're in Lebanon. Then we've got myself in Finland. We've got Harvard, Duke University, and then we've got the University of Oxford up there. And we've been working with various blockchain clubs, blockchain societies, digital asset societies, and then just universities in general. But up in the top right corner here, we actually did an event with Oxford Women in Business. And I was saying this earlier, I think traditional finance in general, of course, there's a big problem because it's very male-dominated. And I think that's very similar. And I think we could probably even look around the room here tonight, and that's probably a good indicator of the problem itself. So I think a special shout-out to the female members of the audience. I think it's worth noting, as a white male standing here, I'm very aware of the irony of saying that. But I guess as a focus, I think we need to drive more adoption in general, and that's across the board. So just again, Oxford Women in Business was a great society to work with, and the idea is that we're trying to spread this out entirely. So a couple of the other things that we're working on as part of the University Outreach Program, we can do hackathons as part of universities, be they intercollegiate or individual hackathons, and I know some of the students here earlier who might still be in the room were interested in doing that too. In terms of Web3 incubation, we can support projects, especially in the Web3 space, and fund those up to $1 million if, of course, through successful applications. Workshops, webinars, similar to what we did earlier, knowledge competitions, etc. So I know some of you might not be students in the room, but if you work in the educational space or you have kids or relations, please do reach out to us. We'd be happy to support. A couple of quick things just from an academy standpoint, and if those who are not overly familiar with the blockchain or crypto space, Academy is a great point to start your crypto journey. Articles, we have nearly 400 articles localized into 25 different languages. You can filter them out by topic, by difficulty, so I'd highly encourage you, even if you want to dip your toe in and kind of learn about specific topics, it's a good place to start. Crash courses, these actually launched live there a couple of days ago, or at least the first one did. The idea behind these is that they're self-led. You can log in, do some basic quizzes, interactive videos in your own time, and again, it's a great entry point to kind of learning about some of the topics mentioned here, blockchain 101, cryptocurrency 101, et cetera, et cetera. Learn and earn, self-explanatory. Who doesn't like earning a bit of crypto while learning about various crypto projects? Binance offer that too, as do a number of other exchanges. So yeah, that's also an offering that we have. And then lastly that I'll mention is the career certificate programs that we're building. These are kind of a more longer term vision for Binance Academy, and the idea being is that they're going to be a stamp of approval for people who want to get into the blockchain space. Similar to what you might have on your LinkedIn with like a Google Ad Manager certificate or something similar. The vision that we have for Academy and our programs is that would be a similar idea. So you can take these in your own time, 30, 35, 40-hour courses, and they'd be a stamp of approval for the industry. So again, something we're working on, but just to kind of give you a bit more of an overview. Last thing I'll mention from an Academy standpoint, and I know this might not be relevant to everyone in the audience, but I'll quickly touch on it just to give you some context. A big thing that we've been pushing across all of our Global University Outreach program is our Student Ambassador program. The idea behind this is that we want to develop longer-term relationships both with the student body and with universities in general, and the student ambassadors are going to be a big part of that. So even if you're not a student, or if you know a student, or as I said earlier, if you have a relation or someone, I'd encourage them to apply. It's a great opportunity just not to have a touch point with Binance, but also with the blockchain and crypto space and Web3 space in general. Plenty of soft experience there that you can get, and of course then there's some other perks that might be more tangible, such as exclusive event invites, some nice merchandise. We have some Binance socks which will be given out as part of the quiz later, so you'd probably get those too. Internship job opportunities, Web3 training, and certificates. So QR code is there, but you can also just visit academy.binance.com and you can apply for the program through that. So yeah, I guess I'll probably close it off there for now. I'm going to hand you over to my colleague Roy, who's our regional lead. He's going to run through some of the strategy stuff we're working at Binance. But yeah, thank you so much for your attention. Appreciate it.
Thanks for the great introduction, Stephen. Also, I must mention that given the pictures that he showed on Binance Academy, this is arguably the best looking stage that he has been on so far, right? All right, so my name is Roy. I came all the way from Amsterdam. It's my first day ever in Cyprus, actually. I'm responsible within Binance for different regions. So the Benelux, Nordics, Greece, and Cyprus, working together with many talented colleagues. But what's Binance all about, and what's the blockchain industry all about? Well, first of all, the blockchain industry itself has proven itself in a certain way by attaining a $3 trillion market cap back in November 2021. Right now, the graph looks a bit different. We should maybe update it a little bit. It has been going down. However, if we look back way over here, you will see that about 4 years ago, the price, the total market cap, has never been as high as we currently sit, right? So we have to zoom out on certain volatilities in the shorter term and look at the broader perspective and what the blockchain technology is actually able to bring. So what is Binance doing? Binance is a centralized exchange, and not just an exchange. It has been arguably the fastest growing company in history because we reached the first $1 billion in profit. How did we get to do that? Well, we earn our money basically on the trading volume, right? So trading volume generates fees. People pay a fee for the service to trade on the platform. So you can see the trading volume of Binance started as the number 10 centralized exchange globally in day 40, grew out to be in less than half a year to be the number 1 in terms of trading volume globally. Our peak sits at May 19, 2021, at almost just 2 billion short of 200 billion. And also maybe a fun fact is that it aggregated over 2021, there was like a $43 trillion trading volume on Binance. So where do we get this trading volume from? This is mainly 2 parts. One, the corporate. Second one is the retail customers. In terms of retail, and same with corporates, everyone has to verify their identity. This means they have to KYC their account. KYC stands for Know Your Customer. Every financial service provider needs to do this. Only KYC users can trade on the platform. Back in exactly April 22, we had 118 million KYC users on our platform. So that's the total amount of users that are trading on Binance as of now. How did we get so many users? Well, Stephen already touched upon it. It's not just decentralized exchange. We have this whole ecosystem, and within the exchange and the ecosystem, we have some of the products that really excel in different ways. So we have been the largest fiat to crypto exchange, meaning transferring your euro into any cryptocurrency, as well as the largest futures exchange, largest one on P2P. We have the biggest crypto wallet app, which is Trust Wallet. CoinMarketCap is also part of our ecosystem. One maybe really cool added thing on CoinMarketCap today, or maybe yesterday, is that they show which exchanges are showing their proof of reserves. So proof of reserves is maybe the first step in being more transparent on where the user funds exactly are and how solvent a exchange itself is. So they show which exchanges have shown publicly their proof of reserves, which is just the first step. Also, BNB chain, somewhat associated with Binance as part of the ecosystem. Then the NFT marketplace, second biggest NFT marketplace, third largest stablecoin, Binance Pay, also an interesting product. So how do you actually pay with Binance? People or vendors, merchants, shops. In El Salvador, for example, I've seen videos, I haven't been there myself, but I've seen videos where people go to the store, they come with their Binance app, the store has its QR code there, they type in what amount they should receive in what token, the user scans it, and they just transfer it instantly with 0 fees if it's within the Binance platform. Also, we have a fan token platform, most active one. Crypto Earn is an important part, especially for the hodlers amongst us. So this is basically our name for all the staking products that we offer. And finally, the 4th largest mining pool for Bitcoin. So back to CoinMarketCap. CoinMarketCap has about 117 million views per month. This is due to the 20 million unique visitors that we have on a monthly basis. So on a global Alexa ranking, we are number 86. It's quite a good and very objective information platform on cryptocurrencies. Then Trust Wallet. I think Trust Wallet and self-custody, both on cold and hot wallets, is getting more and more interesting in these days. So we have Trust Wallet downloaded on over 50 million devices, and we have about 10 million daily active users on the platform. You can store your NFTs as well as many tokens in this app. Then back to the Binance, Binance.com website itself. So based on a third party that tracks the market share, and the market share, it says here, very small, is calculated based on the web visits data on a third-party source. Based on this data, they will look at all these centralized exchanges and even decentralized ones. They will look at the total visits and the unique visits. Based on the total and unique visits on our website, we are the number 1 in 79 out of the top 100 countries that we track. If you look closely, you will see both Cyprus and Greece there in the middle as well. So one of the new strategies, or not really that new, but since about a year ago, CZ wrote his open letter. And the open letter was regarding compliance and regulation. So he addressed there the issues and risks within the crypto market and how to address them. So we we increased our compliance department by 500% in 2021, and we've applied for several licenses or registrations in Europe. So since that open letter about a year ago, last summer, we have received 4 regulatory approvals in Europe, one of which is in Cyprus, the other ones are in France, Italy, and Spain. Besides that, we are in talks with more than 10 other regulators in the EU to either acquire a registration or collaborate in a way that we can prepare for MiCA regulation later on. Then another interesting project is Binance Labs, which is our incubator/venture capital arm. We've launched this 3 years ago, and we try to invest in many projects that we really think is kind of valuable. I saw some people pointing out already, yes, the FTX logo is in the middle as well. I can refer to CZ's tweets maybe to see, provide some more information on how that went. So I already told you I'm responsible for the Benelux region as well. One interesting thing is we also invested in a company called Engrave, which is, according to them, or arguably the coldest wallet. That's their slogan. They have a really high security, third-party security certificate on their product. But we also try to diversify our products. So not only hot wallets, but cold wallets are of a big interest as well. Then what's Binance's core vision? We want to increase the freedom of money. What exactly does this mean? You have the freedom of speech, right? We want to have this for money as well. There are many governments sharing boundaries on the users in which they can operate in a free or not free economy. Also, there are a lot of people unbanked. About 25% of the world does not have access to any bank account. Here in Cyprus, people will think, how not? You can just go to the bank. But it's quite hard for many regions to get this. How do you store your funds then? Well, you need some sort of other plan to do this. Way more people than that do have access to both smartphones and internet. Therefore, we believe that blockchain technology can revolutionize this part. Also, we try to provide more access to crypto. So we want to make it as easy to use for as many people possible. We want to educate the people on how to use this as well without compromising any parts on the compliance or the risk or security side. And then finally, our core value has always been to protect the users. So that's our number one value. We always want to protect the users as well as their funds. One great example for this is our SAFU fund. SAFU fund is basically a fund to reimburse users for unforeseen circumstances on the platform. And this fund consists of $1 billion in total to facilitate this. So what are we exactly doing? Well, we have distributed teams and a global talent pool. How can we do this? This is basically because we all work remotely first. We have a few hubs globally. One of the hubs sits in Paris. The other one sits in Dubai. But most of the people just work from home. And therefore, we have a global talent pool. We are not micromanaging anywhere in the organization. So we try to give the people freedom to work on their own projects as well as the tasks that, of course, need to happen. But people are given a huge chunk of freedom. Why? Because we hire passion and responsible, accountable people. By doing so, we can trust the people to also execute and be successful on that front. The important thing from CZ is save a lot of time, being efficient. The next point is also resonating to this. 2% strategy, 98% execution. We just have to try certain things. If it fails, it fails. You just have to try many, many things until something works out. So we have to focus on executing really fast. We cannot plan ahead like a usual company does, let's say, for a 5-year plan. Nobody would have known 5 years ago what the crypto market would have looked like right now. Also, if we do enough, you will once get lucky. So you just have to work your ass off, basically. Finally, we are growing the industry, your peers, and you will grow yourself as well. That's one of the internal mottos that we have. So how could Binance help Cyprus or any market that we get regulatory approval in the short term? Well, first of all, we try to hire the talent. As said, we have a global talent pool. So it's not only the local jobs that are available for the people in this market. You can actually apply for any of the available jobs on the global platform. We have about 1,000 roles in total available at this very moment. And we keep on growing quite aggressively. Just to give an example, I joined about 1.5 years ago at Binance. I was amongst the 2,500 employees back then. And we now reached about 7,400 employees. So it's aggressively growing. What else are we doing? We are growing the crypto knowledge and community. Steven is a great example. He comes here for Binance Academy to share the knowledge and get people inspired to join in on the blockchain industry. We try to support the Web3 and blockchain ecosystem, potentially fund startups, provide expertise to shape the legal framework and follow the highest AML and security standards locally. So right now, indeed, the price may have come down from an all-time high. However, this is the perfect time to either build and hire. So Binance, we are not slowing down. We continue to hire. We think it's the perfect time to improve our product, take in the feedback, and further develop the space. So it's the perfect time to build. And that was basically the presentation in short. Thank you all. Yeah. Yes, you wanna?
Okay, so let's take some questions alongside Roy from the audience. Who has some questions to ask?
I see one hand going up right in the middle there.
How can we give the mic to the audience?
That's okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So what do you think will be the killer app of blockchain outside cross-border payments?
Sorry, the killer app?
The killer app of blockchain? Hi, everybody. So, what do you think? What do you think could be the killer app of blockchain outside cross-border payments
Okay, so
and banking the unbanked?
Yes, so banking the unbanked sits closely to one of our visions, right? The freedom of money and providing that. But I think that blockchain technology itself provides way more value. Basically, it's a way to store data without being able to alter the data from the past, right? So we have plenty of ways to find use cases and utility into that. NFTs are a clear example, but I think that the NFTs are still in its infancy, right? We've seen the first creative arts being shared, funny pictures. It's a cultural revolution, however, it's maybe not adding value to the lives of the mainstream audience. But what if you create contracts in NFT with blockchain technology, making them more secure and creating a trustless engagement between one and the other? I think the blockchain technology provides way more utility on that front.
I want to mention something about the NFTs as well. I think right now we are still in the very early stages of the NFT ecosystem. Most use cases are around digital art, but I foresee in the future more use cases emerging, for example, real estate. So we may see tokenization of real estate through NFTs or other use cases that we have to deal with every day. This may need the support of regulation in some occasions, for example, real estate. It may need the support and embracement of local regulation to succeed, first in pilot phases, for example. From our behalf, regarding the NFT marketplace, we just want to grow adoption first with our marketplace. I think you have all seen the partnership last week with Cristiano Ronaldo. So we are doing lots of fun stuff to engage new audiences into this ecosystem.
Cool. Thank you for your answer.
We have one here in the front.
I'm not sure where the mic is at, but maybe
where
feel free to also shout out your...
Do we have a mic? Okay, yeah, we can hear.
How does Binance see the Europe's MiCA regulation, and more especially the travel rules inside?
Yeah, good question. So in general, Binance fully endorses regulation, as long as it's smart regulation, right? So we've all seen the recent market developments We need some kind of supervision as well as on the AML part. So basically AML is the main focus for the MiCA regulation. We fully support that as an idea in itself and as a whole. So we think that one, regulation is important, and the second part that's really important is now we are in this registration regime where a company has to apply in every single jurisdiction. As we are working with many regulators, but we have the resources to maintain that relation and that establish that engagement with them. However, for smaller market entrants, it's really hard to expand, and for foreign exchanges or projects, it's really hard to enter the market, therefore. So to open up Europe as maybe a blockchain hub, we need pan-European regulation. If we are not doing this on a pan-European level, we will lag behind. Probably US or Singapore, Dubai will go with most of the innovation on blockchain technology. Then the second part that I do have to highlight is regulation in itself is good, but we are going for smart regulation. So one of the things that we do, we actively trying to educate not only the retail, the masses, and so on, but also politicians and law enforcers on how we think we can properly, that they can properly supervise us, for example.
The follow-up to that, do you think that it's a viable regulation in terms that it really makes it harder for small-scale projects to be created on it, and a lot of stops on having to share the inside technology of every product, even before it comes to production?
Yeah, so your question is basically, you're afraid that innovation will be stopped due to regulation, right? That the entry
Not
bar...
stopped entirely, but it will certainly slow it down.
Yeah, so my understanding of this is, or my perception is, we are still talking about a financial service, right? And the industry is getting bigger than before. Nobody or people didn't anticipate on such a mainstream innovation a few years back. So that being said, the entry barriers when you have to apply for a license on a pan-European level are a bit higher, yes indeed. However, on the other hand, the safety that will come with it for the end users will also be higher. I think my personal opinion is we need more regulation in order to facilitate the real next, let's say, bull market or mass market adoption. We see loads of banks, financial institutions not entering the markets because it's not regulated. If you want to get that money, resources, and funds, so on, into the industry, it's just essential to have.
Thank you.
I think as well, to add to what Roy said, regulation is for many of us regarding protecting users. So what we do, because basically regulation is a gray area in many regions, if not most of the regions worldwide, is that we take that responsibility of securing the users on ourselves. So Roy mentioned beforehand the topping up of 1 billion in the security asset fund. So what we are trying to do is that we are trying to apply the best possible practices to our users, even if somewhat they operate in a non-regulated environment or a gray regulated environment, to provide trust and the best possible solutions and services within the boundaries. Yes?
After this year, Luna and FTX debacle, what does Binance, as the biggest player, plan to do to instill confidence back to the market?
Good question, and yeah, totally valid question as well. So one of the things that we have been doing is applying for registrations, right? Being under the supervision of regulators. That was a process that we started way before these incidents happened in the last weeks. Next to that, CZ posted on Twitter and Binance as well the proof of reserves. And I think this is one of the first steps to show that the customer funds are already there. You can go to CoinMarketCap. You can look up the exchanges. You can see now, next to the name of the exchange, which exchange published their proof of reserves. If you press on it, you will then see the distribution of the different coins that they have. So you will exactly see which type of coins Binance is holding for the users on the end. However, as shortly mentioned, this is just the beginning, in my opinion. But We need a more transparent, maybe third-party audit to prove that the solvency is there, right? You basically want somebody else or a protocol or a smart contract proving that your funds are secure. This is only the first step, and we are working on the next one. But these things also for a global organization require a little bit of time. So the main issues arose like shortly ago, right? So I'm already quite proud to see so many exchanges showing their proof of reserves as a first step.
I also think that proof of reserves is, as Roy mentioned, the first step, because you can indicate that you have certain assets on the blockchain, but at the same time, that may be a misleading picture to what kind of debts you have, right? So proof of reserves is obviously the first step that we have been doing first in the industry. But I think the industry as a whole, we have to figure out more ways on how to prove the sustainability of a company. And that will be done also by giving a picture of the other side, the debts, the liabilities of each exchange.
Yeah, and to shortly add on that as well is the beauty of blockchain is that we can all transparently see the big transactions flowing through the chain. So some exchanges, products or whatever, they will try to do all they can in order to show the proof of reserves. This could be a big red flag as well if they have to go through all that trouble to prove to you guys that they are legit. Also, the bear markets in general are always known to flush out the unsustainable business models. So it gives the market the opportunity to critically assess instead of everything going up during a bull market. I don't think that's a healthy or sustainable way of growing the market either.
As the financial services is expanding more and more into the decentralized finance sector, how do you see regulation playing a role in decentralized finance and financial services provided on a decentralized scale?
This is a really good question, actually, and I think that the answer just doesn't really exist yet. Looking at MiCA, so the pan-European law, they didn't include DeFi as of yet, but they are already looking into it. So the legislators and so on, they are looking into ways to regulate this. But as you can imagine, it's not that easy for them to regulate a protocol or a decentralized organization or a DAO or whatever. The problems there, or we try to mitigate those problems by helping them out, establishing local entities in a way that the regulator can understand how we operate. But this is clearly different in DeFi. So I think that to come closer to this answer, we first of all need more time. Second of all, education will be important towards the regulator to properly regulate it how they seem fit. And then we need more decisions over time to really come to a conclusion on that front.
I think also from a technical perspective, it's not the easiest thing to do to regulate a protocol. I mean, purely from a technical perspective. So I think right now we are at the stage that most of the countries worldwide, they don't have a framework to regulate cryptocurrency activities, which is I think the simplest form of blockchain transactions. So I think that we will need some time to, in my opinion, to see regulation emerging for the DeFi sector. And I think the most important aspect for the DeFi ecosystem is for these protocols to improve their user friendliness, because it's not a secret that centralized exchanges, they may have some disadvantages in terms of centralization, as the phrase exists, but we are the user-friendly products for the newcomers in this technology. We are the services that can provide the most solutions to given users. On the other hand, to use DeFi, more or less you have to be a bit experienced with how to manage wallets. You have to perform your training well in order to not lose, for example, your seed phrase or whatever the case may be, or to use the bridges correctly. So I think the first issue that DeFi projects must solve is not the regulation aspect, in my opinion, but mostly the usability of their interfaces.
Yeah, So we operate in a market. Crypto is still being innovated, right? And you have to find the products that suit your own profile. I wouldn't recommend my mother to use even a cold ledger, for example, or a cold wallet for herself without having my help. The chances of losing her funds are quite, there's a reasonable chance when you make a slight mistake on that being happened. So people have to find the products that suit them, and we try to build the whole industry and support the whole industry to drive really the adoption and not just purely our own success in that front.
Let's have one more question because we have the giveaways next. Okay, I see very urgently that guy over there, so let's give him a chance. And then we'll be on the networking with Roy and the rest of my colleagues, so we can catch up on the networking event upstairs.
I would like to ask about the CBDC, which is heading to the crypto space, and if that is going to impact the decentralization part of the space negatively. And because the CBDC will pass, as it has been described, we will probably end up with a social card like in China. I think no one wants that. What do you think about that?
I didn't hear the question.
I did hear the question. I was just thinking of a proper answer to give, to be honest. Good question again. So I think a lot of people. Yes, okay. A lot of people have been thinking about the possible scenarios in which it will go. It has some clear advantages to a cash system that we currently operate in, right? Most of the assets and the funds that we use are already digital assets. Currently, we are more focused on other projects than specifically this. This is not a project that's being owned by us. We do have some public affairs employees trying to advise on how to properly establish this in a way that we seem fit.
Okay, let's have one more. Yes.
So you were saying a lot about onboarding new users and user experience, but as we know, mostly of that happens on mobile, and you probably heard about the Apple regulations about selling NFTs in the apps and getting 30%. So what's your take on that? And do Binance as a company tries to communicate with Apple or Google trying to solve this issue to ease user onboarding in Web3?
Yeah, so your question actually consists of several questions to firstly address the Apple part. I think that these things often resolve itself, or retail customers will find another way to resolve it for them, right? So there are several solutions. It will maybe be a bit harder, but give or take a couple of years later, they will find a better and more easy to use workaround on that front, on the Apple part. Then second part is indeed on the ease of use. This needs to be significantly improved over the whole industry, right? It's still quite complicated for new market entrants to use our products. Originally, if you looked at our Binance platform about a year ago, maybe 1.5 years ago, it was even way more complicated. We have tried to simplify it already, and we will continue to do so, so it's more easy to use. But we always have this trade-off, right? We want to offer as many products, services as we can, while keeping it simple as well.
Yeah, I mean, regarding user friendliness, that's why we also give so much attention to training and initiatives of Binance Academy. That's why Steven is traveling the world and living the best lifestyle to teach newcomers of this technology of how to handle their wallets, how to enter the ecosystem in the best and most secure way. So we invest in training and the safety of users a lot. We have the options, for example, because you talk about the mobile device, we have the option of Binance Lite, which is the best way, more user-friendly way for newcomers to use the app. Still, my mother can't use it. I mean, I tried to explain it here, but it's quite difficult. If you can't get newcomers of this technology feeling comfortable, you will have problems. So that's why we are working, and our product teams are working exclusively for this cause, to make the best available services to the whole population. Ultimately, that's the goal.
One last question.
Okay. Yeah.
So, yeah, I have the mic already. So,
One hypothetical question. You're talking about confidence in your services. You have one billion fund in case something happens to the users, etc. What, just like FTX, which was trying to promote this confidence and trust, what if users were trying to start at withdrawing funds, like FTX case?
Yeah.
What happens in that case?
Yeah, to be completely clear on that, everyone can withdraw their funds all at once. We have the proof of reserves. We haven't touched the consumer funds. And we try to prove this by showing the proof of reserves, right? And if you think logically and compare it with the other exchanges, it makes sense. You can see the wallet addresses. Please go to the CoinMarketCap site to review it for yourself. However, as Andreas mentioned, it's the first step. So we need more time to have maybe third-party audits confirming that the rest is also quite good and secure. But CZ himself tweeted, of course, it's his own platform, right? So I get the concern, but he tweeted himself, we never touched any consumer funds and we have never gotten any debts.
And actually, the SAFU fund that you mentioned, it was topped up 1 billion, I think, maybe a year ago. So, but due to the market conditions, it was decreased, I think, organically, approximately to 700,000, and we topped that up to 1 billion again. So initiatives like that indicate that we are sustainable as a company. Another example is CoinMarketCap, where Binance invested on CoinMarketCap, and basically, since we acquired that, we removed the ads from CoinMarketCap, and the ads basically were generating a lot of revenue, like millions of revenue each month. So activities like that show that we care about user friendliness and we care about people coming into CoinMarketCap and have the more user-friendly experience rather than us, putting profit above. Right now, Binance is a profitable company.
Yeah, and to shortly add on this, the $1 billion fund that he refers to is apart from the user assets. So the user assets are shown on CoinMarketCap, which sits closer to $65 billion in total on the Binance platform. But as always, we would strongly advise you to do your own research, use multiple sources, and be as safe as possible in the space.
Okay, thanks everybody. I think it's time to give out some Binance swag. Steven, you want to take the stage?
Thank you.
So a big thank you to Roy and Andreas. Get another round of applause for the two guys. Appreciate it. So I guess while I turn this laptop back on and ask Roy to put in his password, Roy, would you mind? No one look. So I guess for those who are not familiar with Kahoot, we did run this quiz earlier. Thank you, Roy. It's not a hard quiz. If you know your crypto, you should be okay. One thing I would say, though, is that Kahoot is more about getting streaks together, and that's the core part of it. So while I struggle to get this open. Sorry, guys, bear with me 2 seconds. Okay, so if I could get everyone to please go to kahoot.it. Alternatively, there'll be a QR code on screen in just a moment, which you can scan. Okay. So yes, basically, if everyone can take out their phones, you're going to need your phone to play this. There's going to be if you go to kahoot.it, you can enter in the PIN code on screen, or alternatively, you could just scan the QR code here. We'll do a practice question to begin with. There'll be no points for that, just so that everyone can get familiar with how it works. For those who haven't played Kahoot, the questions and answers are going to be on your phone as well. I'll read them out just for your own reference. It's about 20 questions in total. As I said, they're not hard, but we do have some merch to give out. We have some, actually I think I have them here. We've got some hats, we've got some very exclusive Binance socks. They're probably my favorite piece of merchandise. And then we've got some hoodies and a few other bits. We'll probably have prizes for first, second, and third place, and maybe a couple of spot prizes as well. So just give everyone another moment to join. And then we'll kick things off. But I guess just to kind of flag what the guy is saying, although I think on paper it does sound like I am living the dream, I think my girlfriend would strongly disagree. I hope to have one when I go back home, but I think the highlight definitely is kind of visiting all the universities and seeing what everyone is building. So, and of course the quizzes are always a bit of fun too. So I guess just be careful with the answers; they're all pretty similar. I'll give everyone about another 5 or so seconds to get in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, sorry, last thing I'll add. For the students who were playing earlier, just to reiterate, I know some of you are in the room. Please do not win. All right, let's kick things off. As I say, question 1 is a practice, as you'll see now why in a moment. True or false, this tall structure is called the Empire State Building. I think everyone can see the concept of this game pretty quickly. It is the quickest. The question was, it's about who's the quickest. It is the quickest, but it's also streaks. So be fast, but if you break your streak, you're in trouble. So earlier at the student event, we had 7 say true. We have a new record with 10. Well done to everyone involved. All right, moving on. Now the quiz actually starts. Question number 1. Who is the CEO of Binance? Is it CZ? Is it Elon Musk? Is it Hal Finney? Or is it Vitalik Buterin? Spoiler alert, that is him on screen. Exactly. Correct. CZ is indeed the CEO of Binance. Oh, Hazal is playing this time. The audience are not happy, Hazal. All right, next question. Who invented Bitcoin? Was it Satoshi Tamagotchi, CZ, Vitalik Buterin, or Satoshi Nakamoto? I feel like we can guess what a number of people have answered. Satoshi Tamagotchi was not the inventor of Bitcoin. That would be Satoshi Nakamoto. Oh, Hazal, disaster. Hazal was here for the quiz earlier as well. That's even worse. Next question. What is Bitcoin's total maximum supply? Is it infinite? Is it 12 billion? Is it unknown? Or is it 21 million? $21 million is indeed correct. Next question. What is Binance's native coin called? Is it BNB, BNC, CNBC, or NBN? BNB, BNC, CNBC, or NBN? BNB is indeed correct. People know their Binance. Good to see. Paul, where's Paul? Is Paul going to raise his hand? Looks like that's a no. Paul staying anonymous in true crypto fashion. Next question. A distributed ledger is a special type of database that is also known as a centralized exchange, cross-chain, blockchain, or decentralized exchange. As I said, might not be a hard quiz, but you gotta be fast. Someone's very eager in the audience, answering and shouting it out. Blockchain is indeed correct. Question 9. The risk of a cryptocurrency being used more than once is otherwise known as double spending, duplicate spending, double trouble, or double payment. Double spending is the risk of a cryptocurrency being used more than once. It should be called double trouble. Sam Bankman, going strong. Question 10. What year did Satoshi Nakamoto publish the Bitcoin white paper? Was it 2010, 2008, 2009, or 2006? For those who are sitting a little bit closer to the front, you might be able to see a hint on screen. $2008 is the correct answer. Okay, for a quick spot prize, and this is where I really asked those who were here earlier not to answer. There is a specific word in the Bitcoin white paper that is not mentioned anywhere, and it's a specific word that's not mentioned. And I wonder, can anyone tell me what the correct answer is by putting up your hand? Tell me what the word is. Guy in the front row here. Blockchain is correct. Were you here earlier? Were you here earlier? Sounds good to me. No one caught that. So yes, nowhere in the Bitcoin white paper is blockchain mentioned. The closest Satoshi comes to mentioning it is a chain of blocks. Next question. A DApp or DApp is short for DeFi application, Dapper application, decentralized application, or distinguishable application. Yep, a DApp is a decentralized application. Paul, ooh, Sam Bankman. Wants his Binance merch. Question 12. The process of using proof of work to solve a block is called computing, mining, digging, or staking. Mining is indeed correct. All right. This is where we start getting into the money business. Paul, second place. Okay. In third place. Where's okay? Okay, no one is willing to put up their hand this evening. That's okay. Question 13. In the development of the web, which stage is referred to as participatory? None of the above. Web 2, Web 3, Web 1. Web 2 is indeed correct. Paul back into the lead. Tom Brady. Oh, there's always some good names. That one I appreciate. Yes.
We have to mention that we have a lot of participants on the UNESCO building. So if any of the winners at the end are in the UNESCO building watching us live streamings, they should come here for the swag at the end.
Noted. we will save you some swag for whoever is watching. Hopefully you guys got that question. In blockchain systems, any machine that interacts with the network is considered to be a node. That would make more sense then if we're not getting some answers. Perhaps the leaders are in the other building. Next question, question 15. A block's what serves as its unique identifier? Is it its token, smart contract, wallet number, or hash? Hash is correct. Okay, last couple of questions. And remember, we have prizes for first, second, third, fourth, and maybe not fifth. First to fourth, I would say. Question 16. Which of the following best describes the functions of Web3? Is it read and write, read, write, and learn, read, write, and own, or read only? Web3, is it read and write, learn, read, write, and own, or read only? It is indeed read, write, and own. Paul L. OK. Question 17. What date is Bitcoin Pizza Day celebrated? Is it March 12th, May 22nd, January 5th, or August 1st? I basically said the answer in today's workshop. I'm definitely not going to say it this evening. May 22nd. And for those who are not familiar with Bitcoin Pizza Day, very quickly, it's the occasion where a gentleman spent 10,000 Bitcoin on 2 large Papa John pizzas. At the time, that Bitcoin was worth $40. With Bitcoin now trading at about 16,000, you can imagine that those 2 pizzas were extremely expensive. And in honor of that poor soul, Bitcoin Pizza Day is honored on May 22nd. Okay. Last couple of questions. True or false? NFTs are non-fungible, which means they are interchangeable with each other. True or false? False. NFTs are non-fungible, which means they are not, they are not interchangeable with each other. Correct. Okay, we are 2 questions away from our winner. It is close at the top, but all right, question 19. The term metaverse was first referenced in a book called Snowcoin, Slow Cash, Snow Cash, or Snow Crash. Spoiler, this was actually mentioned in today's workshop, but obviously we didn't do the content for this one, so this question is a lot harder than was originally planned. The book is called Snow Crash. All right, last question, and then we'll give out the prizes. And if I could ask the winners when they're announced to please come out of the front, give you the prizes, take a photo, and then we'll all go and get some, I don't know, go outside anyway to chat. Last question. Ooh, Paul drops down into 4th. Is L in the room? Maybe, who knows? All right. Well, if they're not, we'll find out in the question anyway. Last question. BNB stands for build and benefit, build and buy, or build and Binance. How far away is the other venue in terms of our winners? Yeah, how long are they? Yeah, a minute away? Perfect. B&B stands for build and build. So with that in mind, we'll announce our winners, which I've just clicked through, so I now need to go back to the podium. So in 3rd place, round of applause, please, we've got Paul. Woo! 2nd place, we've got Elle. And in 1st place, with a fantastic score, we have Sam Bankman. So Sam Bankman is in the room. Could you come down? Congratulations. Sam Bankman and Elle might need to come from another building, so we'll wait. Or perhaps still in the Caribbean, who knows? Okay. So for you, sir, what place were you? Sorry? 3. So you will get. Okay. Hello. Congratulations. What are you? What place were you? What were you? First or second place? You Sam second. Perfect. Right. So we're still waiting on Sam Bankman. Okay. So we've got a. So second place, we've got a hoodie. We've got a hat. We've got a pair of socks. And that is it for the moment. First place, we have the bag, we have the hat, we have the water bottle. And for you, sir, we have a hoodie as well. Hoodie for you. You get the hat, you get the socks. That's it. And unless Sam Bankman is going to reveal themselves, we'll probably have to just take the photo with the 2 of us. So big smiles, guys, if you don't mind. One marking you have to do. Well done. Nice good. And then, yeah, I guess when Sam Bankman gets here, Sam Bankman, your prizes are available when you need them. And I'll pass you back to Andreas. Thank you all so much for playing. And, yeah, have a good evening.
All right, thank you, everyone. It was a pleasure being here for the first time in Cyprus, the first Binance event in Cyprus. We'll continue our Binance week in Greece, in Athens, on Friday. So I heard that some of you might be there as well. We look forward to meeting you as well over there. Probably we'll see you attending as well. So thank you all, and we'll catch up upstairs in the networking. Thanks.